Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Academy, and today we're going to be covering part two of the Etsy workshop. Your co-hosts for this workshop are Nicole Whitlock and Kelly Ward. We're so glad you're here. Yay! All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the last workshop, we covered a bunch of information. We showed you how to create your Etsy account, how to install the Etsy Seller app, how to understand and read and use the Etsy Seller app. We also learned how to list an item. We actually walked through, so if you didn't get a chance, definitely check out workshop number 1. We learned about the fees and how you get paid. And then we learned about the different sourcing strategies to use when sourcing products for Etsy. Today, we're going to be covering keyword research using eRank, social media, promotions and coupons, marketing campaigns, branding your store, listing integration options, Shopify integration, print on demand, and managing multiple Etsy stores. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, I'm going to be talking about eRank. eRank.com is separate from Etsy, but it's has a lot of great information for you. There's keyword research on there. You can do there's a bulk rank checker. So yeah, you can check how the ranks are on Etsy. You can look at your listing categories, and if you've made any changes to your listings, how that has helped your listing or hurt it. Sales map, that's kind of cool. You can see where most of your sales are coming from. You can get a picture of the world, and you can see, well, I got lots of sales going to California and some sales going to Florida. It lets you know where most of your sales from. Trend Buzz, that's for the levels that aren't free, but that's some great information to see what trends are coming. You can look at your competitor tags to see what they're using that can maybe help your items be seen more. You can check your active listings and even have them graded. See, what can you do to make your listings better? There's a profit and ROI calculator, a hashtag generator, and a great blog to help you learn about SEO and tags and stuff if you're not very knowledgeable in that area. I know sometimes I'm not. So we're going to go to, if we could switch over to my screen, and we can go to, and I'll share my screen. See if we get up.
Let me know if you have any problems with sharing.
There we go. So this is eRank. There's a free level, and then you could pay for levels. So I just had the free level right now. This is the keyword tool. I already was you get 50 free keywords that you can search every day, and then it starts over at midnight with you get another 50. If you can have more if you have a subscription. But today I picked up some Barbie stuff that I won at an auction. So I was looking at Barbie. So this is, tells you this is they analyze the top 100 listings found on Etsy search for the keyword that I specified. So I specified Barbie. And it tells me how many searches, how many clicks, what's the click-through rate, and the competition. There's a lot of Barbie stuff. And you can see this little orange question marks will tell you what all this means. You go down here and see what the search results analysis is. I mean, there's lots of great information here. Here's the most popular tags. So maybe you're trying to list stuff and here's some great tags. The bigger the words, the more popular the tags. The smaller the words, the less popular the tags. So that gives you some tag ideas. And down here, here's more tag ideas. It tells you, like, the dark green means that there's not a lot of competition. There's this red that means there's a lot of competition for that word. So there's a lot of great information that you can use. Even, this keyword explorer, this is awesome. Say I was looking for Barbie again. I'll just use that example again. Um, it thinks for a minute, and it tells you by month how many times has it been searched? Does it get searched a lot? And here's the market trends. So you can even use this with Amazon, Etsy, Google Shopping, eBay, and Pinterest. So it tells you, like here's a big spike from last December that people were looking for Barbies. So it's just a lot of great information that you can have with eRank, and you can use the free, uh, I say free subscription because you're not paying anything, but I can't think of the word for it. There's lots of great information, and there's lots of they have a lot of videos. So you got your tools, you got your keyword tool. Here's the profit calculator, where you can say, maybe you have something for $25 and it costs $4 to ship, and you don't have any coupons on it, and it costs you, I don't know, $5. Shipping costs $4, and boom, it tells you how much right here, what your estimated profit would be. So that's great for understanding if maybe you're running fees, maybe you're running a coupon and there was 10% off, and let you know that's what your profit would be if you had a coupon. So lots of great information on here. But the dashboard lets you know what your global sales rank is. Trend Buzz, it lets you see the hottest search items on Etsy, Amazon, eBay, Pinterest, and Google Shopping. Let you see what stores had the most sales yesterday. And I like this little countdown here. We got 30 days to Black Friday and 58 days to Christmas. Come on, get your stuff listed, y'all. So that's just a great site for you if you want to just take a look around and maybe use it to help your store. So I'm gonna stop my sharing. Where's this? How do you stop your sharing? Oh, here it is. Stop sharing. We get back to the.
Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, so let me go to the next one.
So keywords versus tags. So some people might get these confused. Keywords are the words and the phrases that the searchers, that the people who are buying, that like if you were going to Amazon to buy a toy for your kid and you're typing in that toy, that's the keywords you're looking for. I'm looking for, a blue ball, and that's your keywords is blue ball. That's what, it's also called a search query. That's what the keyword is. Tags is what the words are, short phrases that describes your items that Etsy uses to match with the shopper search. So on Etsy, you can have 13 tags per item per listing. And you want to make sure that you're using words that would help your your item be put in front of your customer when they're searching. So, you want to make sure that you're going to, put yellow sweater. If you're selling like a yellow sweater, you want to make sure you put yellow sweater, women's clothing or men's clothing, depending on what it is. And any kind of, if it has a design on it or not, or if it's vintage, you want to make sure you put vintage because people look for that. You want to make sure that you're going to use the tags that will get your item seen. And the tags can contain up to 20 characters, and they can be short phrases. So you can put Barbie doll or Barbie car. Like if you have that little Corvette, you could put, you know, baseball card. You have an old vintage card. So make sure you understand, and the people on that your customers on Etsy, the search people are searching, won't see your tags. Just Etsy sees those tags so they can best match what you have listed to what the customers are searching for. I don't know if you have anything else to add on there.
What I was going to say was just make sure that anytime you have the opportunity to populate tags that you do, that is going to be so important because you want your product found. And so tags are going to help you get your products found.
All right, social media strategies. So that's like Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. So don't overwhelm yourself. Start with one. And once you've got that one learned, then gradually add others. Try to don't try to eat the whole elephant at one time. If you you know what I mean. So first, to get followers, spread the word online and offline. You know, have your friends follow your, if you have if you start an Instagram account just for your Etsy store, let your friends know and have them follow you, and maybe even have little cards that you make up. We'll talk about branding in a little bit. Say, follow me on Etsy, follow me on Instagram, or follow us on Instagram. So, make sure you use the hashtags to draw a bigger audience. You can use hashtags because people follow them. Like I follow stuff for vintage glassware. I follow uranium glass. So I can spot, if I see someone post a lot of uranium glass, I might want to follow them to learn more about the uranium glass that I see on their Instagram ads. So make sure you're active, be consistent. Don't be only posting once every 2 months. You got to keep, your social media active, and make sure that you engage your followers in the comments if they make a comment or something. Make sure that your photos are mobile friendly, because 80% of people are looking at Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook on their phones. So make sure that your photos are mobile friendly and that you can see the item. Another thing to do is set up a business page on Facebook. Make a free business page on Facebook for your business, and you're able to do, show new items that you list, or if you're running a sale, you can advertise the sale on Facebook. So there's lots of great strategies you can use on social media to draw more customers to your items.
Absolutely. And if you set up a Facebook page, make sure you take the opportunity to potentially set up a Facebook shop as well and integrate that. That's an opportunity that sometimes gets overlooked. And as she said at the beginning, Pinterest is is a great one for your Etsy items as well.
Yeah, Pinterest does have a business account that gives you lots of great ways, and you can even do paid Pinterest ads. So Pinterest is not to be overlooked.
Yes, and of all the platforms, it costs the least amount to do the paid ads, and you get more traffic than you would realize. So I don't want you to overlook that opportunity.
So another way to get more sales is to do promotions and coupons. So it's like running sales and doing coupons. So under your shop manager on Etsy, you go to marketing and you click on sales and coupons. Now to add an offer, there's in the right-hand corner, upper right-hand corner, to be called new special offer. And you can choose from run a sale, send offers to interested shoppers, or create a coupon. Running a sale, you can choose percentage off. Say I want to give a 15% off, and you can choose the categories you want to run it on. So you have different categories in your Etsy shop. You can say, well, I'm going to have 15% off of toys, books, and craft kits this week, and run it for a couple of days. Don't run the sale for 3 months. It doesn't do very good. You do better if you run short sales, 3 days, 2-day sales, because that gives the customer like, oh, that's only gonna be that sale's only lasting a couple of days. I better get it now. Or they're gonna say, oh, that sale's gonna be all week. I'm gonna wait. So make sure you run short sales. Send offer to interested shoppers. So maybe someone has favorited your item, or maybe they have that item in their cart and they haven't bought it yet. You can send them an offer. You can send them, $5 off of that item or free shipping. So you're able to, kind of turn the heat up under that interested shopper who's just sitting there waiting for who knows what to be able to buy that item. And then create a coupon. This is like a sale especially for maybe you want to give a coupon to your social media followers, and you can create a coupon for only them. Or maybe you put a coupon code on your thank you cards that you put in your sales for a repeat customer. That's another great way to use coupons. You can set targeted campaigns for abandoned carts and recently favorited items. So these are automatic campaigns. You can set them up so automatically, if the cart's abandoned, where they had the item in their cart and they haven't bought it after a certain amount of time, they will get a little notification. Hey, you hadn't bought this item. How about we give you 10% off? And see, and a lot of times that will get people to buy that item. Or if they recently favorited, hey, I saw you like Joe's book on making wooden pencils. Here's 10% off of that item if you want to, buy it. So it's a great way to encourage more sales. But make sure when you do list your items that you price your items so that you have enough wiggle room for running sales or setting offers, because you don't want to knock yourself out of profit with the promotions. So I usually when I do my listing, I always make sure I add just a little bit extra on top for that. Okay, marketing campaigns. This is doing ads. You can reach more buyers by using paid ads on Etsy. Etsy does show your stuff, but if you pay a little bit more, you'll have your items in front of more eyes. So you have control on which listings are promoted and how much you spend on the ads. So you go to your shop manager, go to marketing, click on Etsy ads, and you have to choose why you want to start running ads. Maybe you want to show off some new items that you just listed. Maybe you want to get more sales. Maybe you're just trying to get some old stuff that's not been performing well better performing. So they'll ask you a question, why do you want to start running ads? And they'll ask you to start your daily budget. You can start your daily budget as low as $1 a day. So you set your daily budget and you click start. And that's how you get your ads going. It's not very hard. Um, so that's Etsy ads. So you want to make sure that you brand your shop, because your brand is how your customers remember you. I mean, if you think of a red bullseye, you think of Target. You think of um, a giant yellow M, you think of McDonald's. That's branding. It helps, you go back, you automatically put one with the other. Boom. So your brand is your promise to your customer. It tells them what they can expect from you and your services. And it's a key factor in standing out in a crowded marketplace, because you might be trying to sell some face masks, but there's 300,000 other places trying to sell face masks. So you have to show why your face masks are better for your customer. So if one is, what is your why? Sometimes the story behind your shop can attract customers because it makes that item special to them. Like Walmart can sell a certain thing, say a t-shirt, but if you have a t-shirt and you have a story of why you're making this t-shirt, maybe you're making a t-shirt that has special things on it because you have a child with special needs, and it makes it easier to care for that child with that t-shirt because you don't have to, it's specially made for them. That kind of item makes it more special to the customers. And plus you have to identify your target customer when you're making your brandings. One of the big part of your shop is your logo. That's your visual identity of your brand. Canva has places where you can make your own logo. You just go to canva.com and look for, and you could type in Etsy logo template, and you can build your logo there. Or there's other online design sources that you can use to design your own logo. Or you could go to Fiverr and have one made up for you if you're not very artistic that way. You can go to Fiverr. I checked on it today. There's as low as $15 for a logo to be made. And then you can create a memorable experience for your shoppers with branded product packaging. Just like when you get an Amazon sale, you get that little box with a little smile on it. I had my logo made into stickers. So anytime I ship out an item from an Etsy store, I put a sticker on the box so they see that it's coming from my store. It's a great way. And if you have certain colors, because colors is very good, very important to your brand. Certain colors, red, so a lot of times means love, or it could mean danger. Blue could be, calm or depression. Just how you have that color going with on it. And you can even make the color of your package be part of your brand. Maybe you buy a bunch of blue colored mailers to use for your brand, as your brand. You want it to pop from others. So there's other ways you can brand your shop. So listing integration options. These are ways to list to multiple sites at one time. There's lots of There's lots of programs out there. There's List Perfectly, Vendu, Cross Listed, Seller Champ, and Sellbrite. Sellhound is something else. I'll talk about that in a minute. So basically, you can list on one platform and use the software, and it'll basically automatically list on the other platforms. You just maybe have to go and change a couple of things, click a few buttons, and your pictures are already there, your descriptions are already there. All you have to do is hit list on each of these platforms, and really speeds up. Um, it really speeds up your listing process if you plan to cross post. Personally, I list on eBay first because eBay usually has about 15,000 different listing things they want for you. And then I will go in and go to Etsy and do my listing over there. Go to Mercari, do my listing over there. And you can do Depop, you can do Poshmark, Shopify, Tradesy, Citizen, Grailed. Lots of platforms that you can just be able to open up and quickly list. I know List Perfectly does a lot. I think they also do Facebook Marketplace, Vendu. I haven't tried Cross Listed, Seller Champ, or Sellbrite, but they also offer. I think Sellbrite also does Walmart. There's lots of great ways to use this. Now, Sellhound, that's an app that you can use that you take a couple pictures of your item and you send that picture to Sellhound, and they will search that item, make you a title, make you a description, and give you keywords so that your item sells faster. There is a fee for that. I don't know the fee, but I know that a lot of, especially a lot of people who sell clothes use Sellhound to get their listings better.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check out Sellhound. I have not checked it out. All right, so we want to talk briefly about, I'm going to have to move this little floaty thing. So Shopify. With Etsy, you have many different options for Shopify integration. So if you have an Etsy store and you want to push your items over to Shopify, there's a lot of different options out there. The one thing I'm going to recommend, the great thing about Shopify is that they have a Shopify app store. And on the Shopify App Store is all of the apps that are available. If you type in Etsy, you'll see the ones that have an integration between Shopify and Etsy. What I try to do is make sure I'm looking at apps that have some reviews. I'm looking for free apps first. And then I'm looking for apps that have reviews and what is the rating for them. So this is one of them. There's a couple of them we're going to show, but this Etsy Marketplace integration. And what it's going to do product listing for you. It's going to do real-time sync. So if an item sells on Shopify, it's going to reduce or help you manage your inventory, and vice versa. If it sells on Shopify, it's going to reduce your inventory on Etsy for you, which makes your life so much easier. And then it's also going to help you with order management. So automating the operation of your store is going to make your life a whole lot easier, help you to free up some of your time as a seller. Kelly mentioned some tools for listing on multiple, it's called multi-channel. So if you're selling on Etsy, eBay, and Shopify and whatever other platforms, using tools will help you. But Shopify has some built-in integration tools that are available to you. And so if you're looking to streamline, my biggest tip to you is when you look at Shopify apps, look for those apps that have good reviews or have a lot of reviews. And then that the rating is definitely above. If it's above 4.4, 4.3, that's probably still good if it has a lot of reviews. If it's at 4.3 and it's got 2 reviews, and I don't know, I mean, we don't have enough history on it to know that it's working well or not. So also look for company names that have, maybe potentially created or a lot of apps, or they are service providers. So said Commerce is definitely a service provider, and they create a lot of integration tools, not just for Etsy, but for several other platforms as well. And then this is another one, which is Importify. Again, Etsy, you do have the opportunity if you're doing like print on demand to do drop shipping. Um, and so we want to have, again, apps that allow you the opportunity to simplify your life, especially if you're wanting to expand or grow your your Etsy store, or you want to offer more products. So over time, you may offer more products. The first thing you need to decide when you create your Shopify store, sorry, I keep saying Shopify, Etsy. Whenever you create your Etsy store, you need to make sure that you've decided what is going to be your niche or your storefront. What is it? What type is it going to be? If it's going to be generic, that's one thing. But if you're really going to focus on one thing, like Kelly focuses on vintage, or if you're going to focus on print on demand, or maybe you're going to do a combination of the two, then again, when you're thinking about your branding, that's what you want to do. And then as you expand, you may come back and use these apps for other types of stores that you may create in the future, which is a great segue. So why should you do print on demand on Etsy? Print on demand is a great way to have an extra income stream or just to create an income stream. And Etsy is an easy platform. As you saw in the first training, we showed you how to create your Etsy store. We showed you how to create your Etsy listing. We did a lot of different things, and it wasn't super time consuming. Some of the other platforms, it may be a little more intricate, a little more involved in creating your listings. It may be a little more involved in getting things to go live. There may be some additional steps you have to follow, but Etsy is fairly simple, it's very streamlined, it's fairly straightforward. So the opportunity to make money doing print on demand, that's one of the easy ways to get started in e-commerce without spending a boatload of money. And since there are integration tools like List Perfectly and Vendoo that will allow you to create listings on Etsy, or there's integration tools if you already have a Shopify store, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. So an extra income stream is a perfect reason to start a print on demand Etsy store. The other thing is it'll help you diversify your business. So maybe you're doing a combination of things. Maybe you're doing vintage and print on demand. And so maybe you're creating a vintage, I don't know, hat, socks, cup, phone cover to go with whatever the vintage products that you're selling. And so you're creating bundles, or you're creating opportunities for bundles. Again, print on demand is another great way to diversify your store, to show some flexibility in your store, give people more options, and hopefully keep them hanging out in your store. If they came to your store because of your vintage items, or if they came to your store because of the products they were seeing, you want them to hang out. And so again, print on demand requires you to create some designs. You want to use a supplier that has an integration already built in with Etsy. And so since customers are always looking for something interesting or funny or creative on Etsy, you can give them all of that, especially graphics with slogans and stuff like that. And this is the time of the year for a lot of different catchphrases and slogans, a lot. The other thing, it's a great business model for you could hire someone to help run your Etsy store. And you can hire someone just to do your designs. And so you can give them access to maybe the tool that you're going to use to create. And there's a lot of different software to help develop and create designs for you. And then you use your integration tool to bring those listings into your Etsy store. So you don't have to give them direct access to your Etsy store, just have them create some designs for you and give them a certain level of access. So outsourcing your business operations, especially if you're a busy single mom or dad, or if you're running other types of e-commerce businesses, like print on demand is an easy one just to slide in, work on maybe 5 prints a week and that's it. Just throw them up and incorporate it into what you're already doing. And then, like I said, you just have to provide your designs or create your designs on the supplier's platform. And then they'll print it when somebody buys it. So they'll print it on your, the mug, the t-shirt, socks, whatever, car seat covers, whatever it is, and they'll ship it for you. So print on demand is a form of drop shipping. And the one thing that you need to make sure that you do if you decide you want to do print on demand, because it is very lucrative, that you follow all the trademark guidelines. Don't be out here creating Mickey Mouse t-shirts and I don't know, SpongeBob SquarePants or something else that's going to get you in trouble because Etsy will shut your store down. So you just need to be prepared for that. So if you
Mhm.
create some designs, create some designs. If there's some trademark slogans, don't get yourself in trouble, especially like if it's their font or something like that. So a great example of that might be, I don't know, what are those bags? Louis Vuitton bags.
Mhm.
So don't get yourself in trouble creating a design that you know is clearly something that's already being used or somebody else's design that's already been trademarked or the font is there. So it's clearly you're mimicking their stuff. Don't get yourself in trouble for that. But there's an opportunity to be creative and maybe you're not creative, maybe you hire someone else or you use tools to help you create designs so that you just load up your Etsy store with a boatload of print on demand designs. And again, it doesn't have to just be t-shirts. Remember that print on demand, you have the opportunity to explore a lot of different things, bags, pencils, journals, in addition to mugs and t-shirts, jackets, hoodies, socks. There's just so many, like tennis shoes. There's so many different print on demand options that are out there right now. So here are some of the print on demand Etsy integration options that are available to you. You can go check out their websites in your leisure and just see, how user friendly they are. Some of them are very user friendly, some of them are not. Some of them you have to, you definitely have to create an account with them. Some of them might be a paid account, so you're going to have that expense that you have to deal with. But outside of that, again, having an integration with a print on demand supplier using tools to help get your listings over to Etsy. And then also, if you're using an integration tool, don't overlook the opportunity to cross list it on the other platforms. And as we mentioned before, always take advantage of listing things on social media. Again, the more eyeballs, the more places people can find it, the more eyeballs they can get on it, the higher the chances your item will get some traction and will get sold. So if you're deciding that you want to run multiple Etsy stores, you do have the opportunity to do that. You can run multiple Etsy stores. You can run more than two. But if you decide you want to create a second Etsy store, you need to sign out of your current one. And then you're going to click on register when you sign in. You have to use a completely different email address. And then once you do that, you're going to click the sell on Etsy, which is the same steps we followed before. And then you're going to go through the process that we talked about in workshop number 1 to set up your Etsy store. So you want to make sure that you follow, all of those guidelines that are defined by Etsy and their seller policy. You don't just want to open a store and then get yourself in trouble for having a secondary store. You can use the same credit card, you have the same credit card processing, and your bank account can be the same. And like I said, you can have more than 2 Etsy stores. You can have 3, 4, 5. Just make sure that all of your stores and your accounts comply with Etsy seller policy. If they don't, you run the risk of having your store shut down. So don't get yourself in trouble. And one additional tip that's not mentioned here, like if you're going to run multiple Etsy stores, different merchant providers, whether it's Square, whether it is Stripe, whether it's PayPal, you can always run into the chance that one of them might shut down or lock your account because maybe you were trickling in a couple of sales every day, and then all of a sudden one day one of your prints took off. It's just like you sold like 5,000 of them in 2 hours. They're going to put a freeze on your bank account. Your merchant is, so you don't want all of your business operations to be stuck. So if you decide you're going to run multiple stores, the other thing I'm going to recommend is that you set up multiple merchant accounts. Make sure that each store is set up separately, independently in a merchant account, so then that way you don't run into the risk of maybe someday becoming famous because some movie star or some basketball player or some race car driver or somebody that's playing golf is wearing one of your prints, one of your shirts, one of your hats, one pair of your socks or print on demand shoes. And then they take off like hotcakes. It goes viral. And then you're trying to figure out, how do I get my money from this? How do I get my money back from my merchant account? So set up a separate merchant account if you're going to do, multiple stores. That's my recommendation. And then, managing multiple shops, if you're going to do it manually, I don't recommend it. First, I'm going to say that. So we're just going to talk about that. If you decide you're going to run multiple shops, you're going to have shops that you might be running. from different locations and have different products on them. It can be cumbersome. So let's say one of your stores you're running print on demand and you're using Printful and Pure Bubble, and it's a specific niche that you're going after. Maybe it's something that's baby designs or whatever, and then maybe you have another store that you've opened that's political quotes, and then you open up another store and it's something else. So if you decide you're going to run multiple stores, trying to do this manually is going to be a nightmare for you, especially if you have multiple integrations with multiple apps and you're trying to figure out, oh my God, like, how do I get all this stuff fulfilled? So I want you to just be mindful of the fact that the best way to run multiple shops, it's doable. It is, can be labor intensive. It can be um, very much involved. Is I would encourage you over time, make sure that you get some tools to automate the workload. Get tools to automate the management of your inventory, the different platforms that you're using. Use as many tools as possible to streamline in your life. And before all of that, as we said in the first workshop, make sure you build a real work schedule so you can better manage multiple stores. Is there money in running multiple stores? Yeah. Is there lots of money on Etsy? Yes, absolutely. But again, don't get yourself in trouble because you didn't think through the process. So first, think through the process. Think about what each store's purpose is going to be before you do it. Then once you decide you're going to pull the trigger and run multiple stores, make sure you, as quickly as possible, put processes in place to streamline the operations of those stores. And just so you don't mix up orders, you don't have shipments going to the wrong place, you're not ordering stuff from the wrong suppliers, because you're just like, okay. And over time, also make sure you have backup suppliers for some of your stuff. That makes logical sense depending on what it is you plan on selling. So print on demand is a big business. There's a lot of money in it. So do what you can to make your life easier and to help keep your store operational. All right, so we covered a lot in our Etsy workshop. We talked through, how easy it is to get started on Etsy. It is super duper easy. It really is. How easy it is to create your account and how to use the seller app, how to use that app. We walk through creating a listing and how to ship products to your customers. We walk through understanding Etsy sourcing strategies. So, the different ways in which you can sell products on Etsy. In addition to that, um, we did keyword research. We talked through that today. And we also talked through some integration options of different tools. Definitely go back and watch that because that's going to be helpful to you, even if you're not, if you're doing Shopify, in addition to, Etsy, if you're trying to integrate those two, or even if you're not doing Shopify and you just want to use some of the listing tools and the inventory management tools, definitely do that. There's some great tools out there. Then print on demand, why it makes sense to do print on demand. And it is an easy business model to implement as long as you are generating or creating designs and you have multiple options. We talked about how to manage multiple stores and some of the pitfalls you might run into. So my question to you is, what questions do you have for us? What questions do you want to know about Etsy? And was this information helpful? If you learned something in workshop number 1 and workshop number 2, then please share your comments, your feedback in the comments section so we can get that feedback from you. So what questions do you have? We'll take a second here and see what questions you have, and or was this information helpful? If it was, then comment on the fact that this information was helpful to you. All right. Okay, so I thank you for the feedback. So we want to encourage you. You can join the live eCom Sellers Academy Q&A if you have additional questions. You can share that and the Q&A. It is every Tuesday at 9:30 and every Saturday at 2:30. And it's the same link, so you're more than welcome to ask whatever questions you may have in the live Q&A if we didn't get to your questions today. And we thank you for watching the eCom Sellers Academy Etsy Workshop Part 1 and 2. If you're not already a member of eCom Sellers Academy, we want to encourage you to join us. You can go to www.ecomsellersacademy.com to join us today. Thank you again. And this is Nicole Whitlock and Kelly Ward signing off for now.
Good night.
Good night.